Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the fifth chapter, Karma Sannyasa Yogam. In the last class, we have completed up to the 12th shloka. We will just once again remind the 12th shloka. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Yukta Karma Phalam Tyaktva Shantimapnoti Naishtikim Ayukta Kamakarena Phale Sakto Nibadhyate. Yuktaha means who is very much involved in the Karma Yoga. After understanding what is Karma Yoga properly, doing the actions in the attitude of the offering and receiving the whatever results comes as the prasada of the Lord. Such a person, yuktaha, karma phalam tyaktva. If you are really doing karma yoga, if you are really understood the karma yoga, what is the main thing? You must do the actions without expecting anything. Karma phalam, you have to give up. Karma need not to give up. Claiming the karma phala should be given up. Abhimana of I am the doer also should be given up in the mind, but physically you need not or you may not give up all the karmas. It is not possible also. So, karma phalam tyaktva. Karma phalam we anticipate in the mind, so the feeling, the anticipation in the mind, you drop it. Then such a person alone can attain the shantim. What kind of shanti? Naishtikim shantim. Naishtikim means the final beatitude, the complete satisfaction, and there is no any loose ends left in the end of the life. So such a Naishtikim shantim apnoti. This is not at the time of the death or after the death. Vedanta never talks about the posthumous results or the benefits. It is talking about now, here, about the Jivan Mukta. So, in this way, Shantim Apnoti right now. Not only that, naturally, because of his Karma Yoga sadhana and dropping of the Kartrutva Bhavana and the Bhoktrutva Bhavana and the expectation of the results of the action, he also simultaneously now tried and enter into the Gnana Yoga. The topic is here actually Sannyasa Yoga or Karma Sannyasa Yoga. We have to remember the previous chapter topic Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Without the Gnanam, understanding, you can never drop the Abhimana of the action, the doership and the enjoyership of the action. And not only that, you cannot offer these actions as the offering to the Lord. So you need that understanding. That understanding only is called Gnanam. That's why he is able to get the Shantim. Not that everybody, there are many people who says that I am doing my duty in my life. I have taken care of my family, I have done social service and all this, that. So they will keep on, but that I I have done the social service. I have done all my duties in the family. I made my children to settle all this. But who is there strongly? The ahankara I is remained. As long as that the ahankara I am, the lower I remains, you can never understand or claim that your higher nature, the higher I. So you need to understand your higher I. That point again I will ponder on it in the next verse because very important that lower I and the higher I. This is the yuktaha, a disciplined, committed to the cause, and the goal is very much clear for him. The attainment of the self knowledge through the gnanam is clear. But there is another side contrapicture also Bhagavan showed in this shloka in the second line. The other person, ayuktaha, who is not following this attitude of the gratitude and the karma yoga, and only with the egoistic sense he works in this world. What for? Kamakarena. Why he was doing like that? Why he is doing like that? Because of the desires. Desires can never be fulfilled. Please remember, desires can never be fulfilled or completed. It is like pouring the ghee in the fire, and the fire never says that enough, enough, enough. More you give, more it will consume and ask. That's why we say desire kills you, need fills you. There is no person so far in the world, yes, I have completed all my desires. Hereof there is no any desire. There is anybody like that except the Gnani, no one can say that. So there is one after another, hundreds and hundreds of desires will stand in queue. So Kama Karena, he wants to achieve more, accumulate more, enjoy more, and in this way, he is always a sensual, pleasure-oriented person, extroverted person. He is called Ayuktaha, and because of that, he is naturally have the anticipation, expectation of the result of every action, and if the result is not gained as he expected, he will become angry. He will start hate the people and beings and the things. So phale sakta. What is the final result? There the person is getting the shanti and the naishtigim, but here he is caught up. He will be binded by this attitude of the doership and the enjoyership and the expectation of the result of the action. All this he is naturally binded by nibadhyate. Now, after telling this, from 7th sloka to 12th sloka, Bhagavan given so many different sadhanas like how you can become a fit instrument for the gnana, receiving the knowledge, and how that knowledge will takes you to the higher goal. So, like this, many different sadhanas given from the 7th shloka to 12th shloka. Now, after that, in the 13th shloka onwards up to the 21st, Lord exclusively explaining about the characteristics of this gnani or the indicators for the gnanam, how his inner disposition. Now, you must be very clear here. What kind of lifestyle you follow, it doesn't matter. What kind of lifestyle means not a dirty robe like we discussed in the last few classes, either sannyasa ashrama or grihastha ashrama or vanaprastha, or whether you are a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, it doesn't matter, Arjuna. Altogether, inner the climate of the mind. the purity of the mind. And if Gnani is mind, how it will be? Or whoever wants to attain the Gnanam, what he has to keep in front of the eyes as the role model. So now from here onwards, again the characteristics of a Gnani are the nature of the Gnanam, the phalam of the Gnanam, all these things are Bhagavan is telling. 13th shloka, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. Now, in the previous shloka, whom the Lord praised and told as the best person, Param Shantim Apnoti, Naishtikim Shantim, that person. Once again, I explain about that person, how he attained that Naishtikim Shantim, because he is now aiming his mind and he is able to discriminate and see that there are, when I say I, there are two things. It is a mixture. One is the lower I and another is the higher I. The lower I is consisting of Stula Sharira, Sushma Sharira, Karna Sharira and Pratibimba Chaitanyam, Ahankara, Ego. This is all this combination. The body mind complex, okay? The emotions, thoughts and all those things are the lower I. Or in other words, we call it as the Anatma. Now, he discovered his higher nature, the higher I. These both are intermixed and together here appearing. But we must remember and recollect here what is the nature of this higher I as told by the Bhagavan in the second chapter from 12th shloka to 25th shloka. Very important teaching, the crux of the Vedanta, the nature of the Brahman self is told. And before recollecting and reminding you some of those points from the second chapter, because unless you recollect them, here you cannot understand or clearly properly. See here, for our vision problem of the EYEI, we go to the eye doctor. Yes, for the correction of the vision of the EYEI. The same way, for the correction of the notion, here not vision, the notion of the capital I, we need to go to the Vedantic doctor. That Vedantic doctor, what he studied the Vedanta Shastra. He did the PhD in it, MD, MS, everything. And such doctor only is called here Jagat Guru Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who represents, who is the representative of all the past Vedantic teachers and the present Vedantic teachers and the future Vedantic teachers, Vedantic doctors. You got the point now? So notional correction is required. And what is my real I, nature of my real I, higher I? Bhagavan told point-wise in the second chapter, I am Ekaha, Ekaha. That I which I am claiming as the higher I, that is one without second. and ekaha, and that is nityaha. It is a permanent one. Whatever happening to the lower eye, so many modifications and changes, all it doesn't matter, it never touch to the higher eye. So ekaha, nityaha, and satyaha, that is the only the truth, and sarvagataha, all pervading, all pervading. And so many like this, mainly 6 7 given Bhagavan there. Akarta, the higher I is Akarta, the higher I is Abhokta, and Avinashi, it never get destroyed. It is a Sthanuhu, it is Achalam, it is Sanatanam. You can take those words, innumerable words Bhagavan said in that chapter, and here and there we will keep on tell that. Those words should ring in our mind all the time, yes. So higher high, that higher high is the najayate, namriyate, na kadachit, nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyaha, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavataha. These are not just words, my dear friends. This is all about me, my real essential nature. Unfortunately, unknowingly, unnecessarily, we are mixing up this lower eye through which instrument I am expressing, or because of which this lower instruments, lower eye instruments are able to function and be chaitanyam, okay, sensuous. That higher high is, I have to claim that. So such a person only manasa sarvakarmani sanyasya. See again Bhagavan clarifying himself. I told already, karma yogi means what? Not or karma sannyasa means what? Not physically you are dropping all the actions. Each ashrama varna dharma, different actions according to your age, according to your health, they will keep on change. They will keep on change for time to time and place to place and person to person. So they are not permanent. But overall, they should be pointed towards the dharmic way of life. So sarva karmani manasa sanyasya, manasa, very important word, underline, gnanena, gnanena. What is the gnanam? That is only we spoke just now. Claiming my higher nature of my I is Satchit Anandam Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma Eka Nitya Sara Satya Ananta Vastu. That consciousness is I am, but unnecessarily, unfortunately, I didn't understand that. Now, whoever understood that one, he is called Manasa Gnanena. So, mental renunciation of this Abhimana of the Sarva Karmani. Sarva Karmani. Already Bhagavan told in this fifth chapter itself, uh, नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित्. I am not doing anything means in what sense? The higher I, the absolute I. Pashyan shrunvan sprushan jigran ashnan gachan swapan swasan pralavan visrujan grinhan unmishan nimishan napim. Indriyani-indriyardeshu vartanta iti dharayan. The last class we have seen very important shloka. Every shloka is an important shloka. So all these are all actions are done by the indriyas. Indriyas are there. by the body mind intellect complex. So what? Let them do, but not me. I am not involved in any way. How? It is like the space is not involved in any way in any modifications of the other pancha, other char, other four mahabhutas, or the current which is passing through all the wires and through all the gadgets of the fan, light, fridge, washing machine, any gadget maybe. But there is any difference in the electricity? If one bulb gets fused, anything happens to the electricity? Nothing happens. In the same way, if one body dies, not functioning, what happened? Nothing happened to the consciousness I. When I claim I am the higher I, that is Ekam, that is Sarvagatam, and naturally in that higher I consciousness, so many bodies are appearing and disappearing. Like that, the current never bothers about by getting fused of the one bulb. It is a gadget. If the fan not got some problem, the coil got burned, the fan may not function. But what happened to the electricity? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So in that same way, here he understood. So sache manasa sanyasya sarvakarmani, then naturally by claiming of this higher I and rejecting the lower I, dropping all these four and claiming this one. This is higher I. These four are, even though they are four in number, looks like big group, but actually they are not real. They are not real. So in this way, then such a person alone, whoever claims his higher nature, can attain the Vasi Sukham. Sukham. Such a person who understood in this way and not influenced by the instruments of the body mind intellect complex, naturally he lives with Sukham. Here Sukham means not Indriya Sukham, not sensual pleasure, Sukham Vashi. Happily he lives with this Jnanam, understanding. See, that's why if that Jnanam comes to us now and here, right now, further we live happily. That's why life is a journey to enjoy. How it is possible? In the journey of the life, there are so many ups and downs are coming, problems are coming, sukham dukkham are coming. But the secret is, I claimed already my higher nature from the higher I standpoint. I look at this lower I and I never take it seriously. I undergo through. Not I really. Higher I is not undergoing anything because it is akarta. But the lower I, it will continue. It will go. It will undergo according to its karma phala and prarabdha and all that. That's why now his understanding is very clear. This Paramartha Darshi who claimed and recognized his higher nature of the I, and he also knows that Navadvare Pure Dehi Na Eva Kurvan Karayan. The higher I, which is living and expressing through this nine-hold box, nine-hold box, hold, which is having nine holes, Navadvaras, nine entries, nine gates. The body is called a Puram, okay, a city which has got the 9 entries. And who is living in that body? That Puram. Deham is called Puram. Who is functioning from inside? For whose sake this body? Who is peeping through all these 9 holes and working, experiencing? He is called Dehi. Dehi. Dehi word already Bhagavan used previously also. Dehi nityamavadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata. This Dehi is the higher I. This Dehi is the Kshetrajnaha. Later in chapter it will come. The Dehi is the supreme consciousness. The Dehi is the Sarva Deheshu. In all the bodies expressing the same. One current expressing through the hundreds and thousands of bulbs and gadgets. So this Dehi na eva kurvan na karayan. He is not a doer or he is not a cause of making these instruments to function. He is just illumining it. The current says anything, request or beg the bulb, oh bulb, you please shine. No, just they came into the contact of the current, they will automatically function if they are proper. If they are not proper, they won't express. To express the current is the choice of the bulb. Choice of the bulb means switch. If we put the switch only, current express. If the bulb is not fused only, current is expressed. So this choice of expressing or not expressing depends upon the uh, outer so many factors. So if these factors are not proper and favorable or not, is it makes any difference for it makes difference anything problem to the current? No. So in that way, current is not telling to any bulb or not say dissecting any bulb. It is just there and they function. In that way, na karayan even is not the causing to the act or he is not acting. So like this, the body is compared with the 9-gate city, Puram. Okay, Navadvare. That's why Pure Shayanat iti Purushaha. One meaning. Who resides in this body. Resides in this body means not only in this body. Who is expressing through this body Chaitanyam. Because if this body consciousness Chaitanya is not expressible, visible as like in the body, in the stone. In the stone. In this clip, the consciousness is not expressing as it is expressing in this body. That's why I know that it is a clip. That's why I can handle it because it is inert. But the clip doesn't know that I am holding in the hand now. I am showing to you. This clip doesn't know. So, naiva kurvan nakarayan. Now, this shariram pureshayanat iti purushaha. Another meaning purnatvat iti purushaha. The purushaha name is actually to the inner dehi, the higher I, not the ego. That's why purnatvat. The purusha higher I is always purnam, complete. That's why we can say this body is the Atmanilayam, Brahmapuram or Shariram. There is another meaning for shariram means shiryamanat iti shariram, which gets deteriorated and get destroyed is called shariram. Dahyamanat iti deham, which is ultimately finally going to be burnt or buried in the soil. Now, after telling that, in 14th shloka, therefore, for this Atma, the higher I, now Bhagavan is going to call with a different name in the next shloka. Shloka number 14. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. Here, in a total sense, Bhagavan telling. There he said in a Veshti level or individual level, Navadware Pure Dehi. There are so many Dehas, and each Deha expressing because of the Dehi expresses. But the Dehi is one and the same, but that egos or reflections are different. Ego different, the reflections are different. But the original is one. Now here, Bhagavan expressing the same thought in a totality, in a samashti level. In samashti level, Bhagavan giving the name to this higher I, okay, which he told in the Dehi in the previous sloka at individual level, is calling as a Prabhu. Prabhu. Prakarshanena bhavati iti Prabhu. Prakarshanena bhavati. That means Ushi expressing as so many illusory objects and living and non-living beings, Prabhu. And this Prabhu means here higher I, Atma, or for the time being you can say Ishvara also. Generally for Lord only, Ishvara only, we call as a Prabhu. Prabho Ganapade Paripurna Navaye. Prabhu, Prabhu. And from that higher I, Prabhu, everything is created. We think like they are created, but actually Atma doesn't create anything. If it creates, it becomes a karta. But we studied just now Atma is akarta. Therefore, he is not creator. He is not a doer. Na kartrutvam, na karmani. He doesn't have any. He is not the agency of doership, or he is not the cause of these actions, or he is not the uh, for this. He is not the cause of creating this world. He is not the cause for the agents of the results of the actions, or he is not the doer, whom we claim as the Lokasya Prabhu Srujati, we say. But actually Bhagavan created. If he created for his own whims and fancies, then he is a partial person. But ultimately the karmas are done by us. For our karmas to experience the karma phalas, our world is created. That's why in Brihadaranyaka it tells that the world is created by the jiva, not by the Ishvara. Okay? So collectively, so many ego jivas are all together for their karma to exhaust this whole world, Namrupa Prapancha. And na karma pala samyogam. Therefore, naturally, he doesn't have any attachment to the karma pala also. Then, what is happening here? How it is happening? Swabhavastu pravartate. Here, swabhavaha means because of the maya, the prakriti, the nature. Okay, swabhavaha, nature. What is the nature? Nature means prakriti. Prakriti is Mula Prakriti. It is because of, it is appearing and expressed because of the Maya. Then when we come to the Maya and ask the what is Maya and all that, it is inexplicable, anirvachaniyam, because you cannot say it is there and you cannot say it is not there. Therefore, very difficult to talk about it. But it is apparently is there, but essentially it is not there. Okay? It is there, Vyavaharikal it is there, Paramarthikal it is not there. It is appearing experientially, but on inquiry it disappears. Therefore, anyhow, that unexplicable Maya has got three gunas, and the three gunas expressed as Prakriti. Prakarshanena Kriti Prakriti. It shows so many varieties, projects. First it projects Vikshepa Shakti, then Avarana Shakti, and it reveals also. It won't allow a person to understand what is happening, how it is happening, why it is happening. Everything ends like a mystery. So, Swabhavastu, Swabhava nature. Any nature, Prakriti means it is it consisting of Vikruti. And what is Prakriti Vikruti? It appears, disappears, and in between appearance and disappearance, there is a time appears and it looks like staying, but it is not real. Whichever is not there before, which is not going to be there afterwards, in between also, it is almost not there. It is as good as not there, non-existence. So anyhow, swabhavastu pravartate. What we have to understand, we should not forget that two eyes, not these eyes. Lower eye, small eye, and capital I, higher eye. And that higher eye not doing anything. And where these all things are happening, modifications and changes, everything, vikaras, everything happening in the lower eye, which is nothing but the another name is Maya or Prakriti or Swabhava. Okay. And in this way, we have to negate our separate and discriminate and see, understand, not see means through the outside, understand mentally, higher I am. If I keep on claiming more and more and more, I am the higher I, untouched, asangaha, then this ahankara, lower I, which is right now very strongly, predominantly dominating, that will slowly become weak and disappear. Now, after telling that, in the 15th shloka, therefore, for this Prabhu, Now in 15th shloka, Bhagavan using to that Prabhu another word, Vibhuhu. नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापम् न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. To this higher I, please be aware that why I am using repeatedly higher I, because these words generally when you listen, Vibhu, Prabhu, Vibhum Vishwanadam, Jag, the Kashi Stotra. So those words are talking about the Saguna Ishvara. But here, this Vibhuhu, Prabhuhu, Dehi all refers to the higher I, the Brahman, one without second, the consciousness. This Vibhuhu, he doesn't get any papam because of the lower I is doing so many actions, and the lower I only undergoes so many sukha dukkhas. The sukha dukkhas are because of the punya papas. So kassachit papam na adatte. Any of this papam of the egoistic lower I or the sukrutam or the punyam na adatte kassachit papam va sukritam cha eva vibhuhu. What you have to understand, as a real I, when I started claiming that my essential inner nature, higher nature, then we have to separate it. Whatever punyam, papam, sukham, dukkham, and all adharma, dharma, dharma, these are all related to the lower I at the relative level, at the vyavaharika level. Vyavaharika level is not a absolute reality. It is a vyavaharika satyam. Okay, relatively real, but not absolutely real. You're able to understand? So na that adna adatte kasyachit, either papam or sukrutam, to the vibhu. Vibhu. See this Prabhu, Vibhu, all these names, Vishnu, Vishwam, all comes in the Vishnu Sahasra Namam. If you really take that correct meaning of it, some comes as the Saguna Ishvara names also, some comes as the Nirguna Ishvara also. So we have to understand both together. Saguna Ishvara means again lower, Nirguna Ishvara means the higher. Nirguna Ishvara, we can say Nirguna Brahma. So in this way, he is not touched by, tainted by either punyam papam. Now, if we apply personally this to our own self, so I am so much worrying and about the future, about my relations and possessions and all that. What is going to happen if I leave my body? And moreover, more the person grow in age, he get more fear about what is the highest big fear, death. See? But just now we told that you are really never born, my dear. So therefore you can never die. The death and birth and death are only to this panchabhuta physical body, panchabhautika deham. Why can't you understand this? So you doesn't have ever the birth or death. Naturally, then, don't claim, don't identify more and more and keep on dwelling in the egoistic lower eye level, then you are bound to become miserable. Endlessly, guaranteedly, you will become miserable. Identifying with this body, claiming that I am the body and I am the doer. You show me any person who claims himself as this body and living as the body and functioning in this world with the ahankara. I achieved this, I have gained this, I have done this. Can live happily? Never. Never he can live happily. Therefore, claim this. So this is a different angles Bhagavan telling that how to claim that higher I, the real I. But why this I am not able to recognize, why I am not able to know it? The reason is ajnanena avrutam gnanam. Because of this layer of the ignorance, not knowing, notional mistake. That's why I told in the few minutes before. The notional correction should be done. Notional mistake is thinking that I am the body, I am the ahankara, I am the jiva, I am limited, I am dependent. All these are all because of your misconception, wrong notion, nothing else. Don't claim on somebody, my Purva Janma, Brahmaji, and my parents and my relatives, this world, this government. For your internal suffering is purely because of your ignorance. Your ignorance. So never claim, never point out on others. You correct your notion. What is your notion? You are thinking that you are lower I. Now change it. Bring the gnanam. What is the gnanam? Ajnanam is considering myself as the lower I. Now gnanam is considering myself as the higher I. This ajnanena, this gnanam. It is not a newly created. This higher I is not newly created one. We told no, it is nityam, ekam, sarvagatam, swatantram, important word, independent. But what we are having notion now, I am dependent. This body physically depends. That too when it becomes old and gets some diseases and all that, jara, vyadhi, naturally it has to depend physically. But mentally, what is going to happen to me? Nobody is there near to me. My children are not here. Then who will give me uh, the tulasi water when I am leaving this body? And what is going to happen? This, that, and all this kind of fear. And when you know that this body is now going to collapse, you claim and be indifferent to this physical body. This is the important sadhana every one of us has to do from right now. Don't wait until the death comes or the old age comes. And particularly when we become more and more old, this fear of death, and many people say, I don't have fear of death, Swami, but I have fear of the old age. Because in old age, our willpower will become weak and we will start worrying that if I am not there, how these people will leave my children, my wife, and all that. But in fact, they don't bother. They are thinking with their own way of thinking. You unnecessarily imagining that. How much you can support, how much you can be a moral supporter or physical supporter, you are there before. Now you are physically depending. Why you unnecessarily worrying about it? Everybody has to undergo their course of treatment. So don't keep everything burden on your head. But if you are not trained with the Shastra and Gnanam, naturally we burden our mind. More you grow, more your mind becomes burdensome. More worries. But instead of that, you are exposed to the Shastra Gnanam and hold on to the Guru. More you grow, more you become mature. That's why grow gracefully and mature yourself and fit this world. Allow the body to fall. Anyway, any day, anywhere, whatever. But as long as you are there with the body, make use of it. Make use of it. But don't claim that because of this I am going to achieve anything. I am already, for me, there is nothing to gain or nothing to lose. I am complete. From what standpoint? From the higher standpoint. So altogether, Gnanam, Ajnanam are just a standpoint. Notional correction only. That's why the Gnanam also is here only. Ajnanam also is here only. Lower I also is here. Higher I also is here. Now only a intelligent person, a Viveki, a Buddhiman will claim and recognize and he hold on to that. That's it. Otherwise, generally what is happening? This Jantavaha, Bhagavan calling. Jantu means don't think that animal, we are all animals only. Jayati iti Jantu. Whichever is born is called Jantu. Okay? Jantavaha. All these jivas, manushas are deluded because of this ajnanam. Their gnanam is covered, temporarily clouded. So, what you have to do? Now the diagnosis has done and that should be now treated properly. Samsara rogam. Samsara rogam. The roga of the becoming. You need not to become anything. You just be. And for that, Gnanam is the medicine. Now in the 16th shloka, now Bhagavan is telling what is the treatment. Now diagnosis has done disease, treatment. Gnanena tu tadajnanam esham nashitamatmanah esham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam. When this the light of knowledge is removed the darkness of the ignorance and which is there in their mind. This darkness and light, we are not talking about the outside. The notional correction here only should be done. No? Wrong notion, right notion. And esham nashitam atmanaha. When this notional correction is done about the self and claiming the higher self with this understanding by listening and studying of the Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, naturally, tesham adityavats gnanam prakayashati. Then that knowledge, as like the sun, the bright sun, When the sun rises in the morning, the darkness is dispelled, dispersed. So, in that same way, Adityavats, that Gnanam, as like the powerful rising blazing sun, this knowledge, then it will shines the its real nature, tat param prakashayati. See, that higher I is now shining forth. Recognized. Shining forth means understand. There will be some light comes in the back of the head, or his face becomes so glowing like that. Don't imagine all this story, yoga, ecstasies, and mystics, and this, that. Nothing. Moksham, Gnanam means the right understanding. Other than the right understanding, there is no any other thing to be done. Moksha means other than right understanding, there is no any moksha. Liberation means other than right understanding, there is no anything to be done. Otherwise, again, this doing, this becoming is a disease. What I have to do, where I have to go, where you have to go. Notional mistake is here. Correction should be done here. Why you want to go somewhere? Why you want to do something? Just do the notional correction. That's it. How? Listen to Gita. Do Shravanam. Do systematic, persistent listening of the Shastra for a lengthy period of time from a competent living teacher. This is the only course of treatment. If you are not believing or understanding or taking this, you are wasting the time. As like you are beating around the bush. So Bhagavan here in the 16th sloka, Gnanena tu, indeed, really, this notional correction, Gnanam, and many times again this word Gnanam, Gnanam means it's some kind of, no, Gnanam means what? If Gnani, how he looks, he walks on the head, or he eats with the mouth or the nose. Gnani means he looks up always. He laughs himself like a mad person. Gnani means lot of makeup. Gnani means he should live on the mountain or the cave. All Brahma, imaginary, unnecessary illusion. Drop all of them. Gnani is Gnani because of Gnanam. Not because of any what you generally expect and the external changes, specialities. No speciality. He is as normal as like you and me, but notional correction has done. If this is not done, you may do thousands and hundreds of other things. It won't help you. It won't liberate you. You can never become free from the samsara, the struggle, the suffering, shoka, moha, bhaya, all that. So, tat param prakashayati. Prakashayati means again shining. That also don't imagine that if I get the Atma Gnanam, inside something I will see the light. Seeing the light, listening the bells and this and that and sound, these are all at the very lower level in the yoga meditation. Again, they are all Just a Japidi Vidyai. Ramana Bhagavan says in Tamil, it is only a, what to say, magic. Magic is real. The magician do lot of magics. Do they real? Never. Then why you are running behind them? Where to solve? That's why you must know where is the problem. Problem is you, and definitely solution also will be you. Now with this, we will conclude and see the further slokas in the next class. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम तत्सत्